How's it going, everybody? Get set to preview Patriots Giants Week 4 of the preseason here tonight. Going to touch briefly on that, and then we'll get into some bigger picture topics as it relates to roster cuts. A question involving the team that I'm interested in that was a topic today on Sports Talk Radio, and then obviously the big news of the NFL this week, the sudden retirement of Colts quarterback Andrew Luck, and how that relates to Rob Gronkowski's words and tears yesterday, and what I think has been a bad week for the NFL. But we'll start with the Patriots Giants. The Patriots are 1.5-point favorites. The over-under is 35. Can't imagine you're going to see a lot of big names in this game, if any. I have to imagine Brian Hoyer and Kyle Lauletta are going to be playing the majority of the quarterback in this game. I don't think you're going to see Tom Brady or Jarrett Stidham or Daniel Jones or Eli Manning on either side, and nor should you. It's his fourth preseason game, which is when you really get a gist of who's going to get cut in this game. You might see a little bit of Stidham, but I don't think you're going to see much, if any. I wouldn't be surprised if Hoyer plays the whole game. So like I gave you the gambling information on this game. The players who play late in this game obviously are going to be in a lot of trouble this week alone. Maurice Harris cut. Dontrell Inman cut. Patriots made 2 trades today for depth offensive linemen from Arizona and Baltimore. 2 names. I'm not even going to tell you who they are. Just 2 names that you have to figure just for depth. Nothing more than that. Mike Pennell cut at defensive tackle. Every year in Patriots camp, it feels like there's a surprise cut. I don't know if this guy qualifies, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Rex Burkhead go. Wouldn't be surprised to see Dietrich Wise go, that would be a big one because it feels like everyone thought he was going to be Trey Flowers' successor. So, but like I said, that's all I basically got tonight. I mean, this is the 4th preseason game. It's, and I'm just going to be frank, it's pretty much useless. These are auditions for guys to try and make other teams. These 4th preseason games, showing other teams that they're worthy of a roster spot. Because the odds are, if they're playing in this game, they're not making the team they're currently on. So that's that. I want to get into a big picture question here. Big picture question involving the Patriots. Again, this was a big topic today on Sports Talk Radio. Is your allegiance to Tom Brady, or is it to the New England Patriots? That's a big one. Because Tom Brady's going to be a free agent this spring. Jarrett Stidham has shown some promise so far throughout the preseason. So, my allegiance is to the team, and don't get me wrong, there's no bigger fan of Tom Brady who walks planet Earth than me. I love Tom Brady. Tom Brady's my hero. The guy, he's brought me a ton of happiness. I love Tom Brady. I was for keeping Brady over Garoppolo because Brady wasn't slowing down. I know Brady had a down year by his standards last year, but he was still terrific. And, obviously led them to the Super Bowl. Just he wasn't quite the MVP caliber quarterback he had been in the years prior. That's a big one. So when that topic is brought up, is your allegiance to Brady or to the team? So, in the 5% chance that Tom Brady is playing for another team next year, will you root for the Patriots or will you root for Tom Brady? That's what I'm asking tonight. I'll root for the Patriots. Frankly, I'll root for them to stink for Trevor Lawrence if Tom Brady is off the team next year. That's what I would hope for. And I would root for Brady elsewhere while the Patriots hopefully go get Trevor Lawrence, the next generational quarterback in the NFL. So, I'm kind of split down the middle here because, like I said, Brady is the greatest. He's the greatest professional athlete in NFL history, maybe of all time. If there's anyone who is in Michael Jordan's class, it's Tom Brady. Maybe Tiger Woods, but Tom Brady's closer to Michael Jordan than Tiger Woods. So that's a big one, Brady or the team. Because there was this big survey across Boston lately, and what is the top priority for the team, and the number 1 result was make sure Tom Brady finishes his career as a Patriot. I'm not going to lie. If I saw Tom Brady in another uniform, I might cry. That would break my heart. But you can apply the same logic. With the 49ers, they moved on from Joe Montana to Steve Young. Steve Young brought them another championship. The Packers moved on from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. You can say the Packers have underachieved, and they have. They have absolutely underachieved. When you have a generational quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, to only have one, and I don't think they're winning another with him, that's an underachievement. And obviously the Colts and Andrew Luck from Peyton Manning, which we'll get into in a little bit. So, is your allegiance to Brady or is your allegiance to the Patriots? So that's the big question. That's what I want the viewers here to answer in the comments below. Would you move on from Tom Brady if it meant the betterment for the future of the franchise, or can you just not stand the sight of Tom Brady ever in another uniform? You would do whatever it takes to see him finish his career as a Patriot, and if that means hurting the future, so be it. So just answer that below. And obviously, the big topic tonight and the big topic in the NFL this week is the sudden and shocking retirement of Colts quarterback Andrew Luck. First overall pick in 2012, considered the next great NFL quarterback, coming out of Stanford 7 years ago. And every year the Colts were getting better. They were 2-14 the year they drafted him when they tanked the season when Peyton Manning was out. For luck, 2-14, make the playoffs that first year, divisional round the next, AFC Championship game, the Deflategate game against the Patriots here at Gillette. And it just, from there, it just dropped off. It just dropped off. And to me, the person you blame the most for this is former Colts general manager Ryan Grigson. The first round picks after they took Andrew Luck, Bjorn Warner, our guy Philip Dorsett, who we all love, but it's just, let's face it, folks, he's just not very good. He's a fourth receiver. That's not what he used a first round pick on. Trading a first round pick for Trent Richardson. And he did not draft an offensive lineman in the first 5 rounds of the draft, in the 4 drafts that he was in charge after Andrew Luck's draft. And every year, Luck was just getting killed. And the laundry list of injuries he sustained: shoulder tears, torn rib cartilage, this ankle injury he had this year, the lacerated kidney, multiple concussions. Can you really blame him for walking away at this time? Again, he gets hurt this year in training camp, and I don't blame him at all. It was a sad sight Saturday night in Indianapolis, seeing him walk off the field to boos from Colts fans who were obviously frustrated, and rightfully so. If there's anything you can give Andrew Luck a hard time for, is he should have done this earlier. I don't feel that way, but I've heard people feel that way, and I understand why they do feel that way, because he did kind of hurt the team by waiting until 2 weeks before the season starts to announce his retirement. But on a human level, you can't blame Andrew Luck. The guy has been beat to a pulp, and football's not fun for him anymore. And it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be for you either. Let's break your ankle, lacerate your kidney, tear your rib cartilage, and tear your shoulder to pieces while you're playing for a drug-addicted owner and a horrible GM and Chuck Pagano, who was not a very good head coach. I mean, we were all inspired by that incredible story when he was overcoming cancer to coach. That was very touching, but he just was not a very good coach. Ironically enough, Pagano, now on the Bears staff, was the first one to greet Luck on the sideline last week when the news broke that he was retiring. And then obviously another big story this week was yesterday, Rob Gronkowski speaks in New York endorsing CBD oil and breaks down. In the middle of his speech, just said that football just had sucked the joy out of his life. And I think we all understood that. I mean, in the middle of last year, it looked like he wasn't enjoying himself. If you listen to anybody who covers the team, he was just moping around the facility. He was not having a good time. And then the story comes out that he was hurt in the Super Bowl, hurt his quad. And then the night after winning the biggest prize of his life, winning another Super Bowl, he spent all night in bed crying. That's a tough image. And that makes you feel for him on a human level. And it was truly stunning to hear that this guy who has been labeled as a human golden retriever by some in the press, who just seemed like a larger-than-life, lovable character who was always happy, just see him in such a dark place. I mean, it really was moving, and it was sad. So, my advice to Gronk now is run. Just run. Go be happy. You have a ton of money saved up. You have a beautiful girlfriend. Go be happy, dude. You owe us nothing. You owe Patriots fans nothing. You owe Tom Brady nothing. You owe Robert Kraft nothing. You owe Bill Belichick nothing. You owe us absolutely nothing. I'd like you to be here on opening night when we raise the banner, but come out with a Lombardi. That'll be cool. But you owe us not a damn thing. Go enjoy the rest of your life. I hope he doesn't come back. The human in me hopes he doesn't come back, because it's clear that football was leaving him in a sad state, and no one should live their life that way. So that was rough to see. And so overall, I think this has been a bad week for the NFL. A really bad week for the NFL. Luck's retirement, Gronkowski's words yesterday, the concussion rack up, and then obviously you have players holding out this spring, this training camp, from Ezekiel Elliott to Melvin Gordon, who week one's a week away and you still haven't seen either of them. Michael Thomas held out for most of the spring. The training camp. So, tough week for the NFL. Tough week in general for football fans to see a guy who we all thought was going to be the next all-time great quarterback hanging up early and the greatest tight end of all time be left in tears. Showed you the toll this game takes on you. So again, Patriots Giants this Thursday night, the final preseason game. Brian Hoyer probably going to play most, if not all, of the game. Patriots are 1.5-point favorites. The over-under is 35. There's your gambling info. I'll be back with a recap on Saturday. Thank you for watching. Go Pats.